So students, good afternoon everyone. Good evening, in fact. So today we'll be starting chapter number 6, and the first topic of this chapter is scalar product. So as I have discussed with you that to understand the physics of class 11th and 12th from now onwards, we need to have the knowledge of vector algebra. So basically, vector algebra in itself is a kind of part of mathematical physics, but here we will deal with majorly two things. One is addition and another is multiplication of vectors. Addition or subtraction also. Now addition, we know that this vector A and this vector B, so this is the resultant, because we are joining the vectors head to tail. So this is triangle law. We have done this. This resultant is equals to vector A plus vector B. We can, if we join both the tails, this is A vector, I am bringing this B over here, then I will complete the parallelogram, and this diagonal of the parallelogram is my resultant, so which is the same thing as triangle law. So this I say it as parallelogram law. So, and then we have also derived the relation this addition can be written as A plus B if A is AX I cap plus AY j cap plus B is BX I cap plus BY j cap then A plus B will be written as AX plus BX I cap plus AY plus BY j cap. So this is how I get the resultant, which is addition of both the vectors. Now in case of multiplication of vectors, there can be two things. One is, so multiplication or product, you can say product of vectors. So the resultant of product, so here your resultant was further a vector whenever you are adding two vectors, but in case of product, the resultant, the product of two vectors, the resultant can be scalar, resultant can be vector. So if the result is scalar, we call it scalar product, and if the result is vector, we say it vector product. Scalar product is like, we write it like A dot B. So this is this dot is showing that I am multiplying these two vectors, the dot product, and here I have this cross. This is dot, this is cross. So that is why I also call it. So here the resultant will be scalar, and here the resultant will be vector. So this I also call dot product. This I also call cross product. So you can see here that only a scalar can be equal to scalar, means magnitude is equals to magnitude. It means A dot B is a scalar quantity, and here A cross B is a vector quantity. There is vector on this side, you can see this arrow on the top. So here this is scalar. So because I have dot over here, that is why I call it dot product. I have cross over here, I call it cross product. And as I have a scalar over here, so I call it scalar product. As I have a vector over here, I call it vector product. So this we will be applying in chapter number 6, and this we will be studying in detail in chapter number 7. So in this chapter, OBS Studio disconnecting and reconnecting. So students, we will be doing the scalar product in chapter number 6. So where we are going to apply this dot product, we have the topic that we are going to do is work, energy and power. So we have done even in class 8th, in class 9th also, that water was lifted from here, or a stone is lifted from here to this height h. So what is the change in
internet आपको क्या 23 लोग एक साथ देख रहे थे, आपका इंटरनेट इससे डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया।
अब ये कनेक्शन रिकनेक्शन सक्सेसफुल आ गया।
दोबारा बेसिकली यहाँ से री एक्सप्लेन कर देना है सोलर प्रोडक्ट, वहीं से नॉर्मल स्टार्ट कर देंगे। OBS से लाइव शुरू कर देना, कट कर दो,
पहले स्टॉप करो। Okay, so students, we were understanding that product of vectors can be scalar, the resultant can be scalar, or the resultant can be vector. So in chapter 6 we will be doing scalar product, application of scalar product, and in chapter 7 we will be doing the application of vector product. So the title of our chapter 6 is work, energy and power. So suppose a stone is lifted to height h, so obviously its energy, its potential energy will be changed by mg delta h. Now I am pushing this is a ball, and I am pushing this ball up, and this ball has acquired velocity of v, its initial velocity was u. So its kinetic energy, change in energy is the kinetic energy here. It's on the horizontal plane, so no change in potential energy, but that's change in kinetic energy. And so here potential energy I will be using as writing as U, delta U in this chapter, and kinetic energy as delta K, but both means change in energy, that is half m. So if U is equals to 0, then half mv square is the velocity acquired by the ball, is the kinetic energy, change in kinetic energy is half mv square, where v is the velocity acquired by the ball. So in both the cases, energy of the object is changed. So this change in energy is the work done. So this work done is nothing but the change in energy. If the energy of an object is increased, I say the work done is positive. And if the energy of an object is decreased, then work done by external force is negative. Now, another formula of work that we have done is work done is equals to force into displacement. So F into D, some of the time we write it as F. If displacement as S, then F into D into S. Now, I have a case over here. Suppose this is a toy car, and this toy car is pulled by a boy. This toy car is being pulled by the boy in this direction. So this is force applied by the boy, and this is angle theta. Direction of displacement is this. This is the direction of displacement. So whole force is not used for the displacement. If this is the displacement from this point to this point, so the boy is pulling a toy car with a string with force F. This is a constant force F, and he has throughout this displacement D, he pulled this car. So this boy is pulling the toy car with the force F, and the string is making an angle theta with a horizontal. So I'm interested in finding the work done. So this displacement, it's better if I write here this displacement in the direction of, so this in the direction of force, or I can also write force. Which force? The force in the direction of displacement. So which force I'm talking about? I'm talking about the force in the direction of displacement, or you can say force into displacement in the direction of the force. So look at this example again. This boy is pulling the toy car with constant force F. So this force F will have two components. One is Fy component and another is Fx component. So draw a perpendicular to this. So this is up to this point I have Fx component. So which component I am going to consider? I am going to consider the force which is in the direction of displacement, or you can say projection of force on displacement. So means Fx into d. So this will be the work done, force in the direction of displacement. Now this Fx, I can write this Fx in terms of, so this base, this hypotenuse, so base equal to hypotenuse cos theta. So I can write it as F cos theta into d, and further I can write this as F dot d. So that's how I reach the dot product that I will be using in this chapter. So you can see work is a scalar quantity, this is also scalar, this is also scalar, and this is also scalar product, dot product. So all these four are scalars. Now, so we'll be dealing with so these are the two important things that I have discussed. One is what is work. Work is change in energy, and another definition of work is F dot d, the scalar product that we are going to deal in this chapter, F dot d. Another thing is, now what is power? Power is nothing but work done per unit time. So that's what power is. So the whole chapter revolves around work done. What if, so this formula is for the constant force. Now, what if the force is variable, force is not constant? Then what will be the formula? So, if I have a variable force, means the force is changing. If I am drawing a graph, if this is on x-axis displacement and on y-axis force, and force is variable here, force is a function of x, so this is, you can call it position. So I am drawing position over here. So as the position is changing, the object, the force is also changing. So it's a case of variable force. So suppose the force was increasing and then becomes constant. So up to this point the force was changing, but I have the formula for the constant force only. So what I am going to do, I will divide this into small strips, and assuming that for this small distance dx the force is constant, again for next strip the force is constant. So this way, instead of, because here the force was constant for whole displacement, but here the force is constant only for this much of the displacement, delta x. So this can be F dot delta x, and so I want to add all these F dot delta x. So when I will be adding all of them, and these strips, number of strips tends to infinity, So then it will be changing into long sum integration sign. It means sum of all these infinite strips. One of the strip has the area f dot dx. So I'm adding all these strips so that I'll get the work done from here to here. So I can also write it as like work done is equals to limit, and let me, this can only be infinity, this number of strips, when this, you can write it as dx, you can write it as delta x also. So it's the same thing, the width of the strip. So when the length work done, when this delta x tends to 0, and I will be adding all these strips, fx, this much force for this much displacement, let it be xi here, and it is up to, this is the final position, this is the initial position, xi to xf. So I will be adding them from xi to xf. So this thing, if I am using integration sign, so this thing will be changed to this symbol of integration. This means sum of all these, and this delta will change to d. So delta change to d. If you remember, we did this for, like, average velocity was equals to displacement upon time, and then from instantaneous velocity, from this average velocity, I want to change it to instantaneous. So this velocity, when this limit delta t tends to 0, delta r by delta t, and ultimately I can write it as, instead of writing this, I replaced it with d by dt of r. So same I'm doing here for integration f dot dx from, so this will be my work done. So what is the limits of dx? Where is it from? So it is from xi to xf. So I will write here xi to xf. These are the limits of dx. So this will be my work done. So this is the third thing. So these three formulas of work I am going to study. Work is nothing but change in energy. So units of energy is joule. So units of work is also joule. Both of them are scalar quantities. And then if the force is variable, then I have this formula. If the force is constant, then I have this formula, f dot d. So now then power, which is w by t. What I am going to study in this chapter? I am going to study kinetic energy, potential energy, and sum of both of them, mechanical energy. So this is what this chapter is all about. So I am supposed to be very much comfortable with the dot product. So that is why I am studying my first topic, which is the dot product, or you can say scalar product. So scalar product as कैसे हुआ मुझे नहीं पता.
एक सेकंड तो सही लगेगी. एक सेकंड बाद में हैवी सॉफ्टवेयर में इसकी सेटिंग्स आप आउटपुट ठीक है. इसे इंक्रीज करो तो 3500 जो रिकमेंडेड रेट है. अप्लाई आउटपुट वीडियो. बेटर होना चाहिए. नहीं ठीक है. अब रख अब हो जाएगा अच्छा से. एक काम करो व्हाट्सएप पे उसे एक मैसेज ड्रॉप कर दो ग्रुप पे कि आई एम फेसिंग सम टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टीज प्लीज जॉइन द वीडियो.
पूरा वीडियो दोबारा रन करेंगे आप मर जाएंगे. रन का वीडियो रन तो फिर कैसे होगा.
शुरू से नहीं है बस वो आप जो अभी लाइव खोले ना उसको तो आई एम फेसिंग सम टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टीज प्लीज जॉइन द स्ट्रीम नाउ. जब रेडी होता है स्टार्ट करता हूँ.
So students, I was discussing with you that how important it is for us to understand the scalar product. So now let us see it in detail. We have this B, you can assume it as force, and this A, so this B you can B as your so this is a figure from your book. Assume B as your force and A as displacement. Students, this length is the magnitude of F, this exact, and this exact length is the length of D, so magnitude of D. So this is what my D is, and this is what my F is. Okay, so magnitude of D vector is this B, but if it is A vector, then this is the magnitude of A vector. If this B vector, then this is the magnitude of B vector. Now we can write it in, so as I told you that the dot product A dot B, so we are doing work done is equals to F dot D, so that is equals to F magnitude of F, magnitude of D, and cosine of angle between them. So angle between them is theta. So I am writing F as A, D as B as a general case, and cosine of theta, theta is the angle between them. Now you can write this AB cos theta in two ways. One is A dot B is equals to A into B cos theta. Another way is a cos theta into b. So let us find out what is this b cos theta. B cos theta, so this is b, the length of this hypotenuse is b. I have drawn a perpendicular from b, so I call it projection of b on a. So this I am projecting b, vector b, on a, so I call it, this b cos theta, I call it as projection of b on a, and a cos theta I call it as, see, this is where a ends, so this whole is a, so I'm drawing a perpendicular from a to b, so this projection of a on b, so this a cos theta is projection of a on b. So this projection of vector b on vector a, this projection of a on vector b. So projection is the length. Okay, so you can clearly see from here also, you can see in this right angle triangle, this is the adjacent side or base, you can say, and that is equals to hypotenuse cos theta, and hypotenuse is b. And here draw a perpendicular over here. This again, this is the hypotenuse over here. This is the opposite side, you can call it perpendicular also, and this is the adjacent side to angle theta, and we call it base also. So base is again equals to h cos theta, or adjacent side is equals to hypotenuse cos theta. So this is a cos theta. So there are two ways to understand it geometrically also. A dot b, it's a scalar product. You can write it as magnitude of a and then projection of b on a. So both are on the same. So b cos theta is also lies on this length a, and here b into a cos theta. So both lie on the same. So if I am asking, some of the time it is asked in exams, projection of b on a. So that is projection of b on a is b cos theta, and projection of a on b is a cos theta. So students, now another important thing, this was one of the formulas. Now let us find the rules regarding unit vectors. So if it is I dot I, what will I get? What is the magnitude of I? 1. Magnitude of I cap 1, magnitude of I cap 1. So magnitude of both of them, and then cosine of angle between them. So what is the angle between them? They are in the same direction on the x-axis, walking 1 unit. So that's what I cap is, unit vector in the x direction. So the angle between them is 0. So cos 0 is 1. So the answer is 1. And same is for j cap dot j cap, k cap dot k cap. The answer will be 1. What about v dot v? That is very important. So v dot v is magnitude of v, and again magnitude of v, and then angle between them. So if they are same, angle between them will always be cos 0, and cos 0 is 1. So the answer will be v square. So this is another important thing that we'll be using. Now the next thing is, what about I dot j? That is equals to magnitude of I cap 1, magnitude of j cap 1, and cosine of angle between them. So angle between them is, what is the angle? So this is I, and along y-axis 1 unit I have a j vector. So this is, so here the angle between them is 90 degree, right? So this is cosine 90, and cosine 90 is 0. So 1 into 1 into 0. that the answer is 0. So this dot product is 0. So similarly it will be for j dot k, it will be 0. Now what about a dot b is equals to magnitude of a into magnitude of b into cosine of angle between them. What about b dot a? B dot a means magnitude of b into magnitude of a into cosine of angle between them. So both are same. So I can write it as a dot b is equals to b dot. So these are the important key rules regarding a dot b. Now, like we did the addition, similarly instead of addition we'll be doing the dot product. So what I will get? So a dot b, in this way I am doing. So this is ax I cap plus ay j cap dot bx I cap plus by. Students, I am taking it in a plane. You can take it in a space. You can have zx also. Results will remain the same. Let's look at it. So this is, see, just like we do the multiplication, like x plus 2 into y plus 3, same is the case here. So multiplying 2 with x, xy, then multiplying x with 3, 3x, then multiplying 2 with y, 2y, then multiplying 2 with 3, 6. Same thing we are going to do here. This is ax I cap dot bx I cap. So ax bx I cap dot I cap plus then axi with b. So ax by I cap dot j cap plus ay bx j cap dot I cap, and the last term is plus ay and by and j cap dot j cap. So what I will get? I dot cap I dot is 1. So this is ax bx plus, what is I dot j? I dot j is 0. So this is 0 plus j dot I is same as I dot j because a dot b is equals to b dot a. So j dot I is again 0. So this whole will become 0 plus, what is j dot a? That is 1. So ay by. So hence I get a dot b is equals to multiplying their x component and multiplying their y component. So these are the two ways in which I can write a dot b. So these are the two ways, first way and second way. So students, see here how many variables you have. This is a. So what is a? A is nothing but a is the hypotenuse, and this is ax square plus ay square. What is b? B is bx square plus by square, magnitude of b. So this is how you can calculate the magnitude of a and magnitude of b. And so we can find theta, like in the first example it has been asked that a and b, f and d are given to us and we are supposed to find out theta between them. So let us see example 6.1. So f is equals to 3i cap plus 4j cap minus 5k cap, and d is equals to, so this many units, and displacement vector is given to you as 5i cap plus 4j cap plus 3k cap units. So what you need to find? You need to find the angle between F and D. So if this is F, this is D, let theta be the angle between them. So this is the first thing, you need to find theta. And the second thing, you need to find projection of F on D. So projection of F on D will be, draw a perpendicular from F, and this is the projection of F on D, that is F. So this is the base or the adjacent side to theta, and that is equals to hypotenuse cos theta. So this is F cos theta. This is you need to find out. So to find out theta, you have only one formula from where you get theta. This is that formula. So you need to definitely use this formula. So F dot D is equals to FD. So magnitude of F into magnitude of D into cosine of angle between them. So obviously, so you know F, yes. F is, what is F? So from F, so F is equals to, so there is the longest, it is just like you can keep the longest rod in the cuboid. So that's the length plus 5 square. And similarly, you can find D, that is equals to under the root 5 square plus 4 square plus 3 square. You can find this F in one more way, is like, what is F dot F? F dot F is F square, and that's equals to Fx square plus Fy square plus Fz square. So F is equals to under the root this. So anyway, you can write this. So I will get this as, this is equals to 50 units, and I will get this also equals to 50 units. Both are same. So I have got this F, I have got this D. This is what I am supposed to find. Now I have one more formula, which is the second formula. So that is multiplying their x, y and z components. So fx into dx plus fy into dy plus fz into dz. So simply put their values and you will get the theta. So it's so simple to find now. So this 50 into 50 into cos theta is equals to fx dx, means 3 multiply 5, which is 15, plus fy dy 4 multiply 4, which is 16, plus fx dx, that is minus 5 into 3, so that is equals to minus 15. So plus 15 minus 15 cancels out, and we are left with cos theta equals to 16 upon, okay student, this is actually under root 50, sorry, this is under root 50, please kindly correct it. So under root 50 is 50, So 16 upon 50, and I can write it as theta equals cos inverse 16 by 50. So simple to find. F dot D has these two formulas. You know F, you know D, and you know the components. Simply find the cos theta. It's so simple. Now, what is the next part? You need to find F cos theta. So you need to find the projection that is F into cos theta. So simply divide D that side, take D that side. So that is your, or you can simply write the projection F cos theta, that is equals to, what is F? F is equals to root 50. What is cos theta? Cos theta equals to 16 by 50. So that is the B part, second part of the question. Projection of F on D. It is not there in your book, but that's the answer. You can further write it in simplest form. So that is equals to 8 root 50 upon 25. So students, that's all about the scalar product. You can write your comments, suggestions, or any queries regarding this. Thank you so much for attending this class. We'll meet every day at the same time on this channel to do the further topics of class 11 physics. See you same time 5:45 tomorrow. Thank you so much.